Have you ever felt like your mind works a little differently? Not necessarily better, not necessarily worse, just different. Maybe you're the person who notices things others overlook. You replay conversations in your head long after everyone else has forgotten them. You see patterns in people's behavior. You sense tension in a room before anyone says a word. And sometimes, that awareness can feel isolating. Because while others move quickly through life, you're quietly observing it. If you've ever wondered why your mind seems wired this way, there's a possibility you may not have considered. You might be more gifted than you realize. Not the stereotypical kind we often imagine, not test scores or trophies, but a deeper kind of intelligence, one that hides in everyday behaviors most people misunderstand. And today, we're exploring 10 subtle signs that might reveal something important about the way your mind works. Not to label you, not to compare you, but to help you understand yourself a little better. The first sign is something many people experience without realizing its meaning. You think deeply about almost everything. A simple comment from a coworker might stay in your mind all evening. A movie scene might make you question life choices. A random thought while driving can turn into an hour-long reflection about purpose, relationships, or the future. To some people, this might look like but psychologically, it often reflects a mind that processes information at a deeper level. Gifted minds don't just collect information, they analyze it, connect it, and try to understand what it means beneath the surface. The second sign is emotional awareness. You don't just hear what people say, you notice how they say it. A slight change in tone, a forced smile, the way someone avoids eye contact during a conversation. You pick up on subtle emotional signals most people miss. This kind of sensitivity can feel overwhelming at times. But it's also a powerful form of intelligence, because understanding emotions, both your own and others, is one of the most complex skills the human mind can develop. It allows you to navigate relationships with depth, empathy, and awareness, even when others don't realize you're doing it. The third sign might surprise you. You often feel like you don't fully belong in certain environments. Maybe it's small talk that drains you. Maybe it's conversations that feel repetitive or shallow. Or maybe it's that quiet feeling during social gatherings where you wonder if anyone else is thinking about the deeper side of life, the way you are. This doesn't mean you're and it simply means your mind craves meaning. Psychologically, gifted individuals often seek depth over volume, quality over quantity in conversations, ideas, and relationships. You'd rather have one real conversation than 10 surface-level ones. And in a world built around constant noise, that can make you feel out of place sometimes. The fourth sign is curiosity that never really shuts off. Your mind constantly asks questions. Why do people behave the way they do? Why do certain patterns repeat in relationships? Why do some people chase success but still feel empty afterward? You're not satisfied with simple answers. You want to understand the psychology behind things. This kind of curiosity is one of the strongest indicators of a gifted mind. Because curiosity is the engine of learning. And people who stay curious well into adulthood tend to keep expanding their understanding of the world. The fifth sign is something many gifted people quietly struggle with. You are often your own toughest critic. You set high expectations for yourself. You replay mistakes. You analyze decisions. You wonder if you could have done something better. From the outside, this might look like insecurity, but internally, it often comes from a strong internal standard. Gifted individuals tend to hold themselves accountable at a level others may never see, not because they want perfection, but because they care deeply about growth. Another subtle sign is your ability to notice patterns. You start seeing connections between things that seem unrelated to others. You might notice recurring behaviors in people, cycles in your workplace, or patterns in your own life choices. This kind of pattern recognition is one of the core traits linked with higher cognitive processing. Your brain is constantly mapping information, trying to understand how everything fits together. It's like your mind is quietly solving puzzles all the time. The seventh sign is that you often enjoy solitude. Not because you dislike people, but because being alone gives your mind space. Space to think, space to reflect, space to reset. In solitude, your thoughts slow down enough for clarity to appear. For many gifted individuals, quiet moments aren't empty. They're where some of their most meaningful ideas begin. Another sign is that you question things most people accept. You don't automatically follow the crowd, you think about systems, traditions, and social expectations with a curious eye. Why do we do things this way? Is there a better way? Does this belief actually make sense? This type of questioning isn't rebellion, it's independent thinking. And independent thinking has always been one of the defining characteristics of highly intelligent minds. The ninth sign is empathy. You feel things deeply. Sometimes a little too deeply. A story about someone's struggle can stay with you for days. A friend's disappointment feels personal to you. While emotional sensitivity can be exhausting, it also reflects a mind capable of deep connection. Empathy is a form of intelligence many people overlook. But it's one of the qualities that allows humans to build meaningful relationships and communities. And, finally, the 10th sign. You often underestimate your own abilities, because the way you think feels normal to you. You assume everyone reflects as deeply, everyone notices emotional shifts, everyone questions the world the way you do. But the truth is, many people dance single quotes. And sometimes the most gifted minds are the ones who never see themselves that way, because they're too busy observing, learning, and growing. If some of these signs felt familiar, it doesn't mean you need to label yourself, it simply means your mind may have strengths that don't always get recognized in everyday life. Giftedness isn't always loud, it's often quiet. It lives in the way you think deeply about conversations, the way you care about people's emotions, the way you search for meaning in ordinary moments. And if your mind works this way, that's not something to hide or question, it's something to understand and appreciate. Because the world needs people who think carefully, who notice what others miss, who try to understand life beyond the surface. And if this video made you feel a little more understood today, then you're exactly the kind of mind this channel was created for. Subscribe to Silent Psychology for more reflections on human behavior, emotional intelligence, and the quiet patterns that shape our lives. Because sometimes the most powerful insights are the ones we discover about ourselves.